All right, we've got you back with this story, working to cover all the angles here. A member of the News 8 team has some special experience when it comes to aircraft and flying.
And Keith Kountz sat down with our very own Brian Spyros right before the new newscast today for a really unique perspective. That continues tonight, our team coverage.
Our very own Brian Spyros went to flight school and has experience when it comes to aviation. It's also one of his real passions. And Brian, one of the big parts of this story was the rapid descent of this plane. Is that standard for this kind of a situation?
Yeah, in a situation like this where you believe that the aircraft has depressurized, pilots are trained to rapidly get that aircraft down as quickly as possible, normally to about 10,000 feet. That's where passengers would be able to breathe without the oxygen mask. So that's why in this case, these pilots went down very quickly. They didn't know what was going on, and safety was obviously on their minds.
So obviously a lot of concern about the passengers. What would they have been dealing with inside of that plane?
Well, you know, I've never experienced it myself, but it would have been very uncomfortable for the passengers. I mean, going down that rapidly, apparently they were going down several thousand feet a minute, so you would have felt, you know, a tremendous amount of negative G's on your body going down, and it would have been very uncomfortable and very scary. I mean, here you are on a plane that's normal, and all of a sudden you start to nosedive, but the pilots had to get down quickly.
Now, you spoke to a friend of yours who is a pilot, and he talked about this situation, specifically about the depressurization of a cabin.
Right. One of the things that he found odd was that the oxygen masks never came down in the cabin. He said normally in a situation like this, those would have come down. Also, the aircraft was at 37,000 feet when this entire incident happened. He said that if in fact it did depressurize, you would have had multitudes of passengers on board this aircraft feeling lightheaded or, you know, passing out basically. So he's still a little eerie as to what exactly happened, but as we know, the FAA is investigating, so we'll soon find out, hopefully.
All right, Brian Spyros, we appreciate the information.
You're welcome.
And of course, we'll stay on top of the story here on News 8.
That's right. Be sure to stay with News 8 on air and online at WTNH.com. You can always find the very latest there on that investigation into just what went wrong on that plane.